Hey guys, it's me, Liv. I'm back again with another Salvage Sunday. So I was playing around with my alcohol inks. I made this background and just really don't like it. It's not doing it for me, not what I was hoping to have come out with it when I use these colors together. So I figured it would be a great panel to try on this Salvage Sunday. Now this side in particular, I don't really care for. And when I added the metal type of alloyed one is when I got this really gray, weird silver tint to it that I wasn't expecting. So I'm going to go ahead and actually trim this down to create a card with it. I'm going to do a card size that I don't usually do, which I believe is going to be about a 5.5 by 5.5 size here. So once I have that all trimmed out, I'm going to go ahead and then work on creating something from this. Now my thought here was maybe I'm going to try and use an stencil here and try to do some type of alcohol lift here. I'm not really sure if it's going to work, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. So this is a stencil by Aladine. I'm not sure exactly how you say it. And I actually purchased it over from Scrapbooking Make Simple. And what's really cool about this stencil is that it is self-adhesive, so it will, it's tacky on its own, so it helps to hold down. And I really like this floral pattern, so I figured this fans would look really nice. So all I'm doing is taking some of this alcohol ink left, and I'm going to be using just a regular Tim Holtz felt pad here to try to lift up a little bit of it so I can try to get the impression of the stencil. Now, I don't think you can see it so well in my video, but it looks really cool in person. So I'm going to try to zoom up. Can you see those lines and the pattern it creates? It just adds a really great texture to it. So once I have that all set up, I'm going to decide I wanted to go ahead and create a birthday card for this. I'm not sure why I got a shaker card in my head, but I did. So that's why I figured I'm going to go ahead and actually cut a circle out of the center of it to be used as the shaker part of it. I usually do use my Spellbinders platform here. So to cut that out, once I have that cut out, I'm going to go ahead and get out some of my tool. So I'm just trying to figure out exactly where the circle needs to be, because I am going to keep the circle in there to add another dimension to it. I've already glued down that circle. Then I'm going to take out my tool. Now the easiest way to get tool to stay down is to use just regular double-sided adhesive. So I'm taking out my double-sided tape, going to put it all along the edges, and then put my tool down. I'll need to trim it, but I usually do that retrospectively, not really ahead of time when I go ahead and do something like this. And then I'm going to move on to creating the depth that I need with some foam tape. Now, just a tip, if you are going to use tool, make sure that you have a tighter type of tool and not the ones that have the big spaces, because of course glitter is going to fall out of those. So I do have a lot of tighter tool patterns than the ones that have almost like the I don't say almost like netting type of look to it, which are really cool, but just you can't really use it for a project like this. So I'm going to go ahead and actually frame out this circle here by putting 2 pieces on the side, 2 in the corners, as well as on the 2 top sides, because I want to make sure that most of the tool stays close to the circle and doesn't come out of it. Then I'll go back and do some foam tape along the edges so that the entire thing pops out as well. And once that is all set, I can go ahead and take out whatever I'm going to use. Now, if you really want or have more chunkier type glitter, you're going to want to actually maybe even put another layer on top of this so that it will pop up even more. I don't have too much thick glitter, so sequins, so it's really not an issue for me, but just an idea if you needed to go ahead and do that. So now I'm going to go ahead and get my sequence out, and once I have that out, I'm just going to try to use sequins that's similar to the color scheme that I had in the card, so it doesn't distract from it too much. So I'm pulling out some pinks, some reds, some yellows, some greens, some golds, just to kind of bring it all together. Then I'm going to go ahead and start peeling off the foam tape. I'm going to say this is always tricky for me. I know there's probably people out there who have lots of cool tips not to get the sequins all over, but I almost always somehow end up spilling my sequins a little bit, regardless of how much I try. Now, I did love that trick that I learned from Call Me Crafty Owl, where she does all the sides and like the bottom half and leaves the very top. If you want to pour it in after, or just a little bit easier to place. So I have my card base here. I'm going to go ahead and put it on, and I've left that little last strip to take off, just to make sure everything is good and that I have the right amount of sequins mix that I am thinking that I would like to have in here. Then I'm going to take that off. Make sure you press down pretty firmly so that it does not lift at all once you're done. And there is my shaker card. I am really loving how that looks there. Next, I have these butterflies that I had received in a giveaway that I had won a while ago. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those out because they match perfectly, and I'm not sure if you can really tell, but it is like gold glitter that's around it, which is very similar to the glitter effect that we have here with the tool and with the shaker center. Then I have the sentiments in my stash. I actually believe these are from My Favorite Things. I'm going to go ahead and take my sentiments out. I usually stamp a whole bunch all at one time, so I have a bin full. I have it on pink cardstock, just to go ahead and match up with it. I'm going to tuck it behind this butterfly here, and my card is pretty much done. I felt it was kind of busy already with the pattern and the sequence, so I didn't want to go too crazy putting anything else. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching another episode of Salvage. Have a great night. Goodbye.